I mean, we could do it in like icebreakers. Like, what was your highlight for Croydon?
Who are you asking there?
Ooh.
I'm asking you,
Interviewing
Ryan.
you.
I mean, yeah. Let me ask you guys first. What was your guys' highlight? You don't have to say my band, by the way. Like, we were nervous wrecks up there because it was just kind of like what we said was true. Last time we played Croydon was for like 8 people,
Yeah, it
and
wasn't
so
Croydon though. You played the brewery.
the
Janice was
brewery, yeah,
there.
yeah,
Yeah. And yeah, there weren't many people there. It was very disappointing. And I remember saying to you that night, you have to play This Is Not Croydon Fest because that's
yeah,
when the place fills up.
yeah. So this seeing people there and people like actually enjoying it, I was like, man, this is like the slam dunk moment. We're like, hell yeah, this is time.
Right. I think that was a bad night because SPI Fest was that night in New Jersey. I think that's
We
when it was in
the
Jersey.
it's Connecticut. Can we put this
Oh,
next day?
Connecticut. Okay. So I know a lot of people traveled out there. It was just not a good weekend. There were other things going on as well. But I was there.
Yeah, I know. I enjoyed that a lot. I mean, I'm glad you saw it and you were like the I get it moment. You're like, oh, this band is
Yeah.
great.
And I got to play the guitar too.
Padilla does that all the time. He does that all the time.
I was not ready for that, but I made the most of it.
He'll jump on the most unassuming person and he'll just be like, you play lefty guitar now,
Makes
and
sense of
you're a
me.
righty and never played a guitar before.
So just gonna introduce ourselves. You're watching Ska Talk with SKAgazine. My name is Jess, and I am here with my co-host Janice and Ryan.
What's
Hi,
up,
everybody.
everybody?
Hi. Tonight we have Esteban on from Matamoska. We were supposed to talk at This Is Not Creative Fest. He is not the only one who we didn't talk to there. Like the weekend flew by.
We
Like time just was not working out for us. And you were playing with Matamoska and Voodoo Glow Skull, so we figured it'd be easier to just do this tonight live and we'll have more time to do it. So welcome.
Hi, hey, how's everyone doing today?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. Like I said earlier, I came from work and it was just about enough time for me to come in here, turn on the laptop, and I served myself a little bit of coffee and just start the evening.
Nice. Where are you joining from? You're not in LA, right?
I'm not in LA. I'm from LA. I'll always claim LA, but I live in Oregon, Salem, Oregon, which is the capital of Oregon that people don't even know about. So,
Okay.
yeah, every time I say I'm from Salem, they're like, "Oh, Massachusetts," and
How
I'm like,
far?
"No." Or
What's that? How far is that from Portland? Isn't that where like Los
40.
Malabaros is? And
My brothers are from Portland. I'm about 40 minutes south,
okay, cool.
so it's chill.
So you get to experience that scene and I guess the LA scene as well.
I mean, like the Oregon scene is like it's growing. I know that Eric and the bands up there, they're trying to make the thing happen. They're trying to make shows as engaging as possible. There's just I've personally for me, I feel there's a couple factors missing, like more all ages events, something a little
Oh, I
more,
heard that.
yeah, something to engage the younger crowd because like once you get the younger crowd, they'll tell their friends, and then that's how a scene consistently grows. LA has the privilege of having A, optimal weather to throw backyard shows where all ages people could go, and B, like a big enough scene where like all ages people always get sucked in there.
Right.
Like now we're at the point that if you didn't, like, if you're not like me where you went into the scene when you were like 14, you're the little brother of someone that used to go to shows, and they told them about ska shows and they'll go in there. So now it's like the generation we're the generation that's bringing the new generation in, whether it's through younger siblings or kids or girlfriends or whatever.
This is not Croydon Fest. We were talking about it a little bit, but like, what was the highlight for you playing that? Was that your first Croydon Fest, or did you play one with someone else before?
I played with Catbite there before about like 3 years ago. I think it was 3 years
Okay.
ago. I played with
Was it
Catbite.
at the same venue or was it at the old venue?
I think it was at the same venue. I don't get the story. I don't get the story behind. It was probably my daughter.
Yes.
Um uh this I we played the same venue. I'm still trying to understand the lore behind that. This is not Croydon Fest. Like, what's the Croydon? If it's not Croydon, what's the
So the original festival was in Croydon, PA, and it was called This Is Croydon Fest.
okay.
And then it moved to a new brewery, which is not in Croydon. And I guess
This
that
is
was
not
the
Creative
easiest thing
Fest.
to do.
That's excellent branding, excellent
Yeah,
marketing.
exactly.
But what is this? This is not Croydon anymore. But we probably still live in Croydon somewhere. I don't know, some shit
Yeah.
like that.
And then, well, we actually had the after parties in Croydon this year. So we said we're bringing it back to Croydon.
That's hilarious. But I played there with Catbite, and then I always wanted the band to play there, and so we played a show like 2 years ago at Broken Goblet, and that was what it was, like 8 people showing up. But one of the people was the booker for This Is Not Croydon, and
Mhm.
we were supposed to play last year, but it didn't pan out for whatever reason. It didn't pan out, and then they brought us this year finally, and I was very much like telling the guys like this festival is sick, like bring your A game. This is like an A game festival.
Yeah.
And we went there with like the idea of just trying to impress and impress people, like we want to make sure that the East Coast can invite us every time we go, because like the West Coast, like Mata could play a lot of that. I mean, California, Oregon, Seattle, we play it pretty moderately, but like East Coast is something I have my eyes set for like a long time, especially being a band that's in the other side of the country, trying to get new fans going. So
Yeah,
yeah.
East Coast has some really strong ska scene, so it's a great place to get a foot in the door.
I mean, it has a very strong saucy, but I think like aside Voodoo Glow Skulls, not a lot of people from the East would hear a band from the West Coast.
Right.
So this like I kind of knew we had that advantage where we're just like if we're gonna go, we're gonna be like a fresh breath of air, because everyone hears their scofflaws, everyone hears their Mephistopheles, everyone hears their pilfers, and so I was like, we'll probably be like the new guy technically in that side of the scene, but we're coming in with this flavor that doesn't really get heard so often.
Yeah, I think it's a much different ska scene on the East Coast compared to the West Coast. I mean, you might call it ska still, but the sound is not nearly the same.
Yeah, it's two different things. I mean, there's obviously like a bunch of varying reasons, like culture. There's influences. There's a bunch of different things, but I would never say that one scene. I I won't necessarily say one scene's better than the other. I have my preferences, obviously, because I grew up and I'm biased. But I would always tell East Coast bands come west. Like it'd be so fun to mix it up, as I would tell West Coast bands to come east. 'Cause I think it'd be cool for the West Coast bands to travel. This not many bands travel, not very much West Coast bands would travel east for whatever reasons. I think I see more East Coast bands kind of venturing out this way than anything.
Yeah, I even
True,
see
we
that
always
here in
get
Michigan.
very excited when a West Coast band comes out. We have a lot of like bucket list West Coast bands we're waiting to come out this way, so it's always a
What
thrill.
what bands would those be, if I could ask?
Oh, you put me
Well,
on the spot.
voluntary hazing is one of them that I guess at Pioneers Valley Ska Fest I'll finally get to see. Half Past Two was one for a long time, and then they finally came out to This Is Not Croydon Fest last year, so I checked
Hey,
them off.
we got to see Las Mil Habladas for the first time at a like 80 room brewery, like it held like 80 people before they went to Supernova, and that was pretty fucking sick.
Oh, that's tight. You
Yeah.
see, like bands like that, like it's really cool that some bands like dare to try it, but like this not too much, not too many, especially from where I'm from in the scene. I'm in the LA side of the scene where we're like a very concentrated, very dense pocket of bands. Nowadays, there's like a whole scandal that happened back in March, but a bunch of bands just kind of flaked off. But there's still a good amount of bands, maybe like 30, 40 bands. And we're probably one of two that travel as far as east, like willingly would go. Like we don't have to have a big offer or nothing or whatever, but like they travel either because they're just very comfortable in their scene.
Yeah.
They're kind of too big. They're too big of a fish to kind of bring over there. Or some of them just say that just music is just like a secondary thing, or some of them are undocumented, so they don't want to risk deportation going east. There's a bunch of reasons why, like, but it's like a culturally rich scene, and like I always try to rep it. Like I always have LA, like whenever I'm home or whenever I'm touring, I always have like a little thing on LA just to rep and to show people that like this shit exists and it's worth
Right.
coming down and it's worth experiencing.
We did just have Jackie Mendez out. I host shows as well, like small scale shows, and we had her out
Yeah,
for her first Philly show, and that was awesome.
that's the homegirl right there.
Yeah,
Jackie's the
yeah.
homegirl. I remember. Oh man, funniest story was I remember I was 18. I just graduated high school. So this was a long time ago. This was maybe like 17, 18 years ago. I'm 34. I do the
Yeah.
math,
It
whatever.
would have been longer for me.
Um, this, and so I went to a party where like an old like acquaintance of mine was having his birthday party, so we went to his house, and Jackie's old band called the Boss Beat. I think they're called the Boss Beat.
Yeah, yeah.
They're playing, but I remember that was the first time I ever did like a dab. The dabs are still on the skillet. Like I don't smoke weed, but I'm sure you guys know what a dab is.
Hmm.
And back then I used to like I used to be the guy who was like, oh yeah, I'll try it. I'll try anything once, you know. And so I had a Four Loco and I did the dab and I hit the dab and I'm hitting the dab super hard. And they're like, hey, chill. Like it's like a new thing. So it's like you're gonna get really high. And I'm holding the dab and I opened up my fucking Four Loco and I just chugged the Four Loco and then and I blew it out. And then I'm 18 years old and all, I don't feel shit. Come later, like the night passes by, I'm literally on the floor and I'm literally contemplating like, am I alive? Like I'm saying like, am I alive? Am I dead? Like am I like that movie like Enter the Void, or like is this like Enter the Void? Am I just seeing my life like in first person point of view? I was just being so dumb. And then the night kept going, and then I remember I was like talking to like some friends from this band called the Bohunks, which is like a local band for where I live at in East LA called Montebello. And I'm like talking to the Mohunks, and I'm just like, bro, if you guys need a keyboard player, let me know. And I'm just high and being obnoxious and being drunk and being a shitty little 18-year-old. Long story short, I started just acting up, and I started spinning. And supposedly they picked me up. Back when I was 18, I used to be like 150, like 150 pounds. Like they would just pick me up, put me in the front yard, and one of my friends sees me like, hey, Esteban, how you doing? They raise their hand to shake my hand. They raise their hand to shake mine, and I just vomit in the guy's mouth. Like just holds my vomit. And then they said I passed out. And then I woke up in my bed, and I just got this like very, very like long message from my friends like, "Hey, dude, it was not cool that you threw up in my hand. I just shaking your hand and you couldn't contain yourself." And then uh, they were like, I told the birthday boy who we were celebrating his birthday for about this. He threw up in his yard, and he said he can't go to his house anymore. And that was that. And I don't know why every time I see Jackie, this is like a long-winded story, but I thought it was worth it because every time I see Jackie, I just remember that time. And I didn't know Jackie back then, but and I don't think she ever heard this story. But if I tell her, she would probably be like, "Oh, I remember that night," but she doesn't remember me. But I see, I every time I see her, I remember that night, and I'm just like, "Fuck." I will never get that high or get that drunk in my life again. I haven't gotten that high in my life, but I've gotten drunker than that night a couple more times in my life, you know. But yeah, that's such a crazy story. Like Jackie's such a homegirl. She's awesome. I'm working on a single. I'm working on a single with her, and Jeremy from the Bandulus, which is another good friends of mine, and we're releasing it in the summer, so that's exciting.
That's sweet.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's exciting.
Okay, super long ones. Like, sorry about that. You said say talk about whatever, so I
No,
was
no,
like,
you're all good. Talk
yeah.
about anything you want.
So the moral
Um,
of the story is kids don't do dabs.
No, I'm an advocate of try everything once, but if you start stealing cars or breaking into places, you should reconsider your life choices.
this
That's
four
fair.
locos are kind of
Totally
crazy.
good.
They're like 11% alcohol or some shit, right?
No, this was 2009. This is original Four Loco. This is like the original
Oh,
formula. Yeah, this is
They're like
like
20%, weren't they?
that's have killed people.
they were about 14-15%, but it was like straight up like caffeine. So you're like it's just going through your fucking blood. Like I don't know, that shit was crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. It's what back in the day, that Charlie Sheen Tiger Blood thing was going on. The saying, like that was Tiger Blood for sure.
Yeah, I don't.
Uh,
Anytime I do dabs, I can't handle myself. Like I sink into a couch and there goes like my entire night. I,
yeah,
I tried like 2 or 3 times. Like, nope, nope.
I will not do dabs ever again in my life. I can't. Getting that violently high is just it's too much for me. I'm okay. I'm fine. I'll just have some alcohol. I'll have some mushrooms. That's fine with me. I'm cool with that. That's it.
Yeah.
All right, Janice,
Just
we're circling back to you.
So you had guest appearances at This Is Not Croydon Fest this year, from Brittany Luna and Catbite and Austin Gray, two of our staples in our local scene. How did those come about?
well, Brit, that's my homegirl. That's like that's like my sister right there. Like I played in Catbite. I recorded on the first two albums, which is the self-titled, the nice one. And I was like a touring member with Catbite for at least 2 years, you know. So I've always talked to Brit. I was like, hey, like is it like Mata's like first of all, like the process for that album to come out, for the last Mata album that came out on Bad Time Records to come out, it took years because long story short, the pandemic happened and we were writing and then the original hard drive got stolen when I was touring with Watu, and then we recorded everything and that's the whole thing. But the entire time I was telling Brit, oh, we have this song for you, or we have this idea that we want you to record on. We're gonna produce it and we're gonna shout it out and whatever. We started shading the song, and then when the song was finally done, we finally got it. It was kind of like almost towards the closing times of the session. And then I told Britt, here's a song. Can you like write some lyrics or do something with it? And she's all like, yeah, let me get a little bit to like let me give you a little time to like hear it out and get an idea. And she finally came up with something and it was amazing. And we never so that was the first time we played that song because we were like, Brittany's there, we might as well do it and present it. So I think we relearned the song the night before. We were like going over the chords, going over the changes, and then the whole time we were just confidently telling Brittany like, "We got this. You got this. Are you cool? Are you good?" And I was kind of hoping for like a no to be like, "Okay, thank goodness." But she was like, "Yeah, I'm good," and I'm just like, "Fuck. Okay, I gotta really learn this song now." And it worked. I mean, I'm glad it worked out. So that's how Brittany came about. Austin. I remember we played Joker's Republic like a couple years ago. I forgot where. But I've always recognized Austin. I remember when I think Austin was like younger than 21. He was a kid still playing Jokers or starting out the band. And I remember he like messaged the band saying that like East LA is one of his favorite songs. He thinks that song is like a perfect ska punk song or it's like a ska song. And and then we played together on Thursday, the Thursday before Croydon. We played at Scottish Dave's in Connecticut, and he like jumped on and sang a verse. And then like when I saw that, I'm like, damn, that would be so cool if he just jumped on. And yeah, like I remember after the set, like we were all hanging out and chilling. And I go, hey, do you want to jump on the set? Like I would love for you to come on and sing with us, like because Emily from Against All Authority was jumped in as well.
Yeah.
Um, and M has played with Mata several times already. Played with us on our first trip to Mexico and our second trip, and jumped on set with us when our sax player got deported. So she would cover or they would cover that gap. So this M is like very much part of the family. So I remember when we found out Against All Authority were playing, we asked M and M was like, yeah, like I'll jump in a portion of the song. So at that point, we were just having a bunch of friends jump in. It was like Am, it was Austin, it was Britt, it was Craig from the Circle City Deacons, who's a band from Indianapolis, Indiana, who housed Matamoska a couple times, and they're very cool. Craig's like a brother for sure. He's dope. So it was fun, and then we told ourselves we don't know if we're gonna play This Is Not Croydon again after this. So I want to make the set interesting, and I want to have people like come here and engage with us, and we were trying to make it fun about that.
Well, you
Well,
definitely
you guys
did. It was,
definitely.
yeah,
Sorry, go ahead,
it was
Janet.
an amazing set. Definitely one of the highlights of my weekend.
Thank you.
Yeah, she's not the only person that said that though. There was a lot of people at the after parties, like all night long. They're living on that high. What does that? How does that feel as a performer? Like when you see in the crowd living it up, the pit's going crazy. You got 2 dozen, 3 dozen people in the circle pit.
It feels great, like it's weird for me because like when we play in LA, like our benchmark is so low because like Mata has been a band since 2001, and even early into the band's career, like Mata was always just one of those like you gotta see bands in the local ska scene, and then the older we got, the more reputation we got there. But then when we started traveling out, we realized really fast that it's not the same. It is like what we do in LA does not apply to anywhere else. So that's where the real work started happening where like some shows are going to be nobody, some shows are going to be 10 people, some shows are going to be 20, some shows we're going to be lucky to support a popular band, we're going to have a full sold out house. We're very realistic about that. So I was going to the East Coast. I was like, I think we started going to the East Coast 2017, and we had a decent start, and then we had some shows that were just duds. And then thanks to playing Supernova twice, we were going to Philly like a couple times. We went to New York a couple times, and then like the Toasters took us on and did a couple things with them. and this second time around we came back with the Toasters again, who are like our super homies now. Like all of that, like we started now we could start seeing like the fruits of our labors of like people actually seeing us and people actually acknowledging the band. I remember we played Supernova like I'll never forget it because it was the weekend I graduated college, and I remember I literally got out of the college, took off my gown, jumped into the rental car, played punk rock bowling, and then from punk rock bowling jumped into a red eye and played Supernova. So so that was the very first time we played Supernova, and I remember we played it, and it came out on that this is Ska the Ska movie. It is us playing, and there's like a mud fight going on. But I remember like even then people were just like, "Whoa, like you guys are like different. It's crazy." And then we played it again, and I remember that time we didn't have enough time to really relish the fans because I fucked up and I did a bad logistic in putting our set time really close to our flying home time because everybody wanted to leave home right after. So we literally played and we just said we have no time to hang out. We're about to leave. We'll see you guys later. We played, jumped into the van and just went straight to the airport to Richmond from Supernova when it's at its original location to Richmond, and it was like a 2 hour ride. But I remember like after that we left an impression. People were just like, yeah, you just came and went, and people wanted to like get to know us and see us. So I think like remembering all of that, we could finally start kind of seeing or like people actually saying, "Oh, you got it." I recall someone before we played saying like, "I'm telling my friends about you guys because I seen you guys at the Supernova and you guys have to be seen." And I'm like, "Oh, this is cool." And the more people started gaining on us, the more I was like, "Okay, this is cool." It feels like an LA vibe where like the crowds are gonna start coming flocking towards us, but this is not LA, so I'm appreciating this very much. So it's chill.
Yeah, it's got to hit a little bit different when you're 12, 14, 20 hours from home and you've got people singing along with your songs, dancing, just having a good time vibing.
Yep. Yep. It's a trip. It's a trip, and then it also like to me it just means that like I don't know what people do during their day. So to me it just means that people actually do put in the effort to like listen to us and put us in their playlists and tell their friends about us. And it's cool, we're working on going back to the East Coast. Hopefully at the end of the year. There's an offer that I can't say much about, but this we're hopefully going back. Just crossed.
All right. We'll keep our eyes out then.
Oh,
I'm
as you
also
will keep our
curious.
eyes out. You're not on the East Coast, Ryan. We are.
Well, I said we, as in like all of us, and I think we have some East Coast
I,
listeners, Jess.
I think you're fitting yourself to a visit.
You know, we could adopt you to Michigan, Scott, but you're not going to adopt me. Like, come on now.
You got to come
Where's
visit.
the love?
You see that's one place I've been wanting to take the band to. We've never played Michigan. I would love to play Michigan. At least do something. I remember I was trying to get a show there. Um, I was trying to get a show there, and it just didn't work out. And we settled with like Chicago, Indianapolis, and somewhere else. We settled with that, and we were like, one day we'll play Michigan. Maybe one day we'll get invited, and it'll be fine.
I will say the Michigan Scout scene is very healthy. Like,
Oh, I love it. I mean, I've gone there with Catbite opening up for Streetlight. I've gone there with Catbite opening up for the Machines. I played there with Jer, and it was amazing. Like Michigan's the shit. Like that the Midwest people, they show a lot of love. Like, oh well, most people show a lot of love. I'm sorry if I'm live, but there's just some people that I'm just like scratch my head for. But the general public are cool.
right. I do have a request in the live chat for you to come back to North Carolina.
North Carolina, what city? Charlotte?
Lee, where you at?
Raleigh? Riley?
Queen City? Queen City sounds familiar for some reason. I don't know why. But I know,
Queen City.
is that right, Lee? Pop in and tell me. There's a delay, so it might take them a second. Also, I don't want to ask this question yet. I have a question from Sal, but I'm going to save it until we get to that point. I want to circle back, and I know you weren't in the band from the very beginning, but how much do you know about like the band origin, how everyone got
Oh,
together?
man, I would always say before I was in Matamoska, I was a fan of Matamoska. So
Oh,
I
tell
I
us.
know, yeah. So yeah, the band started in November 2001. It started between the bassist, the ex so the only original members are singer guitarist. But it started with the original bassist and the original drummer. They had like a goth ska band called La Vasca. And everyone's from the Bell area, Bell, California. Bell Gardens and Montebello area. That's where everyone's from, but they're all grouped up into being East LA area. That's Northeast LA. So Richard and Hector, which is the bassist and the drummer, they started the band, and then Padilla, which is a singer, he's still in the band, had like a third wave ska band with his brother, and they were called the Skadillas, which is kind of ridiculous. But anyways, they formed together and they made Matamoska, which Matamoska means literally translates to fly swatter. Matamoska is a fly swatter. You kill a fly, matas un mosca. But you
Mhm.
just instead of putting a K, instead of putting a C, you put a K. So Matamoska. Because in Spanish, our C's sound like K's. So it was a pun for fly swatter, and then the earlier stuff was very much experimental, kind of like untuned horns, but with like breakdowns and punk. And they played some very awesome like notable areas in the Hollywood area back in the scene. It was really hard to do back still house shows because they will get raided or like people would like kind of try to rent you their property, but if the cops come and say to crash in and stop it, then it's done. You lose your lease for the night. But that's later on. That's a little bit later on into the scene. But we started out in places like our house, which our house is called no, our house is it's a empty house which turned to a makeshift venue that was owned by I forgot the guy's name, but it was owned by some promoters, and they would throw that was like kind of the birth of the ska scene there, the LA ska scene. And this Matamo would play there, and then there was the Allen Theater and the Allen Theater in Southgate, which is kind of close to the where the band was born. That's kind of where like all the notable ska bands that were kind of up and coming, which there's like Viernes Trece, South Central Skankers, all these bands in Matamoska, of course, and Left Alone. You guys probably know who Left Alone is. Like those bands
Mhm.
would play there. They would play there all together, and kind of like the band started developing its sound, and we played this place called LATV, and LATV is kind of like the local station, the local TV station that's in LA. And through all of that, we started playing places like the Key Club, the House of Blues, the Whiskey A Go Go, the Jumping Turtle, and that's kind of where we started like getting to know like bigger bands. We started playing with band like Union 13, with Voodoo Glow Skulls, some of the earlier Hellcat bands. We started kind of like forming up with them. And so then we're going to like 2005 area. We like the band's kind of like pinnacle, like where at that time was that they played like Warp Tour. They played like one of the small stages of Warp Tour alongside with Viernes and with Viernes Trece and this and Left Alone. And then after that, 2006 comes and the band started kind of like doing experimental sounds. And Padilla had to leave the band to focus on his life, and that happened for about 3 years. And the band kind of kept going, but like about like a year later, the band fizzled out. So then the band's on hiatus. The band kind of undid itself, and this is where I come into the scene. And then when I got into the scene 2006, like Matamoska was like this mythical band that I'd never seen, but everyone was just like, "Oh, you had to be there. The pits were insane. Fucking balloons were dildos are being thrown in the air. Sex toys are being thrown in the air. Whatever." And we're just like, "This sounds like a party, you know? It's sick." And then come 2009, there's an announcement that they're playing the Knitting Factory, and that we have a knitting factory we used to have a knitting factory in Hollywood, and that they were playing it. And they're like playing for this band called Sectacore, which is like one of the biggest ska bands in Mexico. And the show sold out just merely off the fact that the band that Matamoska was reuniting. They played right before Sectacore, and it was jam packed, 800 kids into like a 500 capacity venue. It's 2 floors, and I remember being there, and it was like one of the best. I mean, I played in the band, but I think that's still one of the best sets I've ever seen them play. And this right after that, everyone left, and there were like 100 people stayed for second court, and I was like, damn, that sucks. Like they outdid the headliner, and then they started doing shows occasionally. I think when I joined the band, they barely just played like 5 shows. They weren't playing that much. They're kind of up and starting. Padilla was like still Padilla, which is the singer. His name's Jose, but we call him Padilla. There used to be 3 Jose's, so we call him Padilla. Padilla was kind of still getting his life together after going through some stuff, and so he could only do as much as he can. He was also going to college, and I remember my first ska band opened up for them, in for their 9th year anniversary. This is on their 9th year. The band's 26 years old now, 25 years old now, so it was a long time ago. And I remember staying for that, and that was cool. They did a couple festivals in East LA. And then end of 2009, I joined the band. So now this is like current history that I could do you remember? I remember my first show. We played in South Central. We played this place called Salon Acapulco, or they call it the Jukebox. And I remember I played three back-to-back sets with my bands at the time, whatever bands I was with. And at the end of payout, everyone's getting paid out. They locked the venue, and you start hearing gunshots, and there was Crips and Bloods fighting outside. So
Fuck.
We were stuck in the venue, and we were like, "Fuck, like this is fucked up." And then the cops came, they taped everything off, and they told us that nobody could take their cars out, and everyone's cars was within the property. So everyone, it is before Uber or before Lyft or everything. So people had to take buses like at 4 in the morning. People had to get picked up by their parents at 4 in the morning. I was lucky enough to get a ride from one of my friends, and I didn't get home till like 3 in the morning. But I'll never forget that because I remember I was like, oh yeah, my first Matamoska show that I played with them, there was a shootout between Crips and Bloods. Like you never forget about that. Um, so that's like 2009, 2010. And then the band was still kind of slowly playing things. Padilla was still finishing up college. He finishes in 2010. And he was looking for like a career in his job. So we were just playing locally. And we got to play some pretty cool gigs. A lot of it was very local. Like we opened up for Slackers, but they would come over here, or we opened up for like Toasters or Mustard Plug. I remember there was one show that we played in Long Beach, and the openers were the Interrupters, and then we played after them,
Nice.
and then it was Kung Fu Monkeys and Left Alone, then Mustard Plug. So I still have the flyer, and I'm just like, that's such a trip because I played with Interrupters
I
too,
feel like I
and
saw that recently. Did you like post that recently or somebody did?
I posted it a while
Yeah.
ago. It's like a green flyer,
Yeah.
but I will ship out because I can legitimately say I play like it's a bunch of other bands, but I can say like, oh, I was
Uh-huh.
playing for five of those bands in there somewhere, and it was just hilarious because it just brought back stuff. Um, but we started like kind of messing around with the ska punk thing, but we were still kind of flirting with it. Like the scene in LA was still very much territorial in the sense where like nowadays it's very accepting for all kinds of ska, but back then a lot of people would be like, I don't want to offend anybody or whatever, but they'll be like, oh, like fuck that white boy shit, like we keep it brown here or whatever, and at first I was just like, well, how is this thing gonna grow? We're not opening the gates both ways, you know. So nowadays it's very accepting, and I can see the growth going, but back then it used to be very, very to itself, very incestual
Right.
and so then this so for a long time our shows were very much to ourselves. I would say for at least 10 years our shows were very much to ourselves. The biggest thing the band would do would be these things called like Ska Core Invasion or Ska Wars or Ska Land, and that's like all LA. Like every single year we would just do the same thing, and there was not much growth. But then like maybe 2017, 2018, we went on our first tour, and it was with another band that I played with, and it was the Steady 45s. And I was telling the guys like, look, if we could do this tour in 2017, um we could do more tours. Like I just want to see if the band can survive on the road. So we just did from LA to Seattle and back. And we did it, but it was just like a hassle, but not that big of a hassle where the guys were turned off by doing it. So we did that. We called it the Ska Survival Tour, and it was for sure surviving because between car issues and housing issues and whatever going on, that was a lot of surviving. And then we did East Coast, and I wanted to see how Mata would do in the East Coast, and then we did Chicago, and we would do these fly-in weekends. And then at some point, I just started kind of routing and building up, like, okay, we could make this a regular thing if the money's right and if the passion is still there. So, like the band still runs on like if we want to keep doing it, we could do it, but if we don't want to do it, then they just say it how it is. And that's kind of been the model. That's kind of been the model for such a long time. I mean, the band's old. If the band was new, I would understand us having to tour all the time. But Padilla's like 48, 45, and he's just kind of like, hey, yeah, like I'll go for as long as I can. Yeah.
Are you the
So
one who's doing all the organizing and the planning, it seems?
I'm the guy. Yeah, we have a booker, and we have covert booking, and they help us out a lot. But for the most part, a lot of like the modeling, a lot of the social medias. It's well, we have my trombone player as well, Rob, and Rob, me and Rob kind of brainstorm everything. We have AJ, and AJ helps us out a lot too. But like for the most part, like a lot of the final decisions defer to myself, and just my connections. I mean, like the Japan, we're playing Japan in July, and that was a lot of like me talking to one of the promoters and saying, "Well, what do you think? We'll go and we'll pay for our own stuff, but we want to show how we do it how we do it in Japan. You know, like I want to show the people, and hopefully with that, it would inspire them to want to get us maybe in the next year or the next 2 years or whatever." So yeah, That brings us up to now.
They have to keep up with
2026.
Esteban's energy. Do they ever have a problem keeping up with your energy? Because you have a lot of it.
Uh, I mean, like, I feel like I, the energy thing has been such a normal thing. I don't know. It's like, it's weird because like I played with a bunch of other bands, and it just depends on the vibe of the stage. There were for sure some days where I'm very nonverbal, like in the sense where I'm just playing and moving around, but it just depends if the crowd is tight. Like if the crowd is right, I could go a lot harder. I mean, there was moments where I felt like I wanted to throw the keyboard into the crowd, but I didn't do it because I had like a key issue and I kept fighting with that. And I was like, fuck, I can't do everything I want to do. But yeah, I enjoyed doing it. The singer started getting a lot more loosey goosey with his playing. He used to kind of just stand there and be like this. And he's just an awkward guy in general, but now he's like very into himself. And I remember telling the guys, I'm just like, bro, go off. As long as you're not doing anything that you're gonna offend somebody, literally nobody cares what you do. Like it took me a long time to understand stage performance and like how much you could get
Right.
away with. Yeah, it took me a long time how much you could get away with stage performance wise. Um to like know that like you could literally do something as long as it doesn't offend people. Like that, yeah. As long as no one's
Yeah.
offended, as long as no one's offended, or as long as no one's getting mad at you, as long as you're not pissing off people, like you could get away with much. Like me, I could run and get a beer on stage, or I could chug a beer and I could just splash it in my face. I've done a thing where I like throw beer into the singer's face, or like I'll like make him chug it from the air while he's doing a solo. Um, Definitely accidentally kissed my singer. If we would look at each other, he'll try to smooch my cheek, but I look, and at the right moment, he'll just kiss me. I'll be like, oh, well, there it goes. We just fucking pecked on stage, whatever.
That photo was shared with us by somebody. He said, "Can you ask him if he likes this photo I took of him?" And I'm like, "Absolutely." It's
Of
a great
what?
photo. The one you didn't see the photo I just shared?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Somebody asked me to share that because they
Oh
took that at Croydon Fest. It was just someone in the audience. It was not a photographer. That was
yeah.
out in
I
the
got
back.
tagged in that. I very much like that. I very much like that a lot. It, it,
It's
it
a
was
good
it was a
photo.
very nice picture.
So how does the creative process work with the band? Does everybody kind of collaborate together writing the music, or do a couple people take the lead?
It kind of just depends. I mean, like the first album was definitely collaborative. It was a collaboration between the bassist Hector, Richard, and Padilla, and it was a bunch of old material that was re-recorded, and that's really cool. Second album, kind of like a lightning in the bottle thing, where like I started kind of like finding myself as a songwriter, and I started doing things, and I brought like ideas, and I did it obviously because this is new. That process was so new to me. I had the issue was dictating myself. I didn't know how to dictate a band. Hey, do this and do that and do this. So like I did two songs in there. Padilla did two songs, and then the old guitarist Jose did two songs, and that kind of all came together, and it was like a very neatly packaged up like experience in the way where we weren't really we weren't really going too hard on ourselves. It just kind of all flowed naturally. The third album was kind of like a trial and everything. I felt like we were trying to force whatever stuck to the wall, and we had a recording slash producer that was helping us out, and like we were just helping us find our sound. And a couple songs stuck with us, and a couple songs were just like, oh, these sound more like demos. Like it sounded more like a bunch of like B-sides that we probably wouldn't play live, but we're glad we got them out. And then the fourth album I would say was very weird because it was during the pandemic, but that album just kind of came out of nowhere. The first song and I think the fifth song, they're both very old songs. So the first song we had to reproduce it and redo it in a new way, add some harmonies. We did a cumbia breakdown, and then the fifth song we kind of just wanted to go a little more thrashier. The last song is a cover of a Chilean pop ska band. We just kind of did it our own way. But everything else, we kind of reverse engineered the songwriting where I took that from like my experience from playing with like Watu, from playing with the Interrupters, from playing with Catbite, from playing with Jer. I just took bits and pieces of everything I learned, and I'm like, oh, I like that technique. Let me do that. Oh, I like that process. Let me take that. Like I remember Watu. I remember Reed. I remember she said that the last thing that was recorded in that Ordinary Life album was drums, and the last thing that was recorded on the Mata album was drums. It was just fake drums. We were playing along with fake drums, recording along to fake drums, and I was making fills, and I was telling the drummer, I was dictating him as we were recording drums. I was like, "Can you do this fill right here? Can you do this fill right here?" And then there was just a bunch of B-rolls, and I was just cutting and pasting a bunch of B-rolls all together. So it's like a big like a tapestry of if you look at the project, it's just a tapestry of like bits and takes and pieces and like little extra things. There's a bunch of things that hide in the background, like us talking shit about whatever and us giggling in the back, but just to have it as memories, like or well, like we like reverse like like gossip. We're gossiping on the mic and like laughing about something really dumb, and we'll reverse it and we'll put like a filter through it and dub it out so nobody knows what it is. Like we like doing stuff like that. So it was very creative. The fourth album was one that I produced pretty much all the way through, but like the guys definitely had an idea of a vision. The reason why it was reverse engineered and it kind of came out of nowhere is because nobody in the band, minus myself, knew how the album was gonna sound. Everyone, I just kept telling them, record bass here, record guitar here, horns here, and throughout the years, because it took like a 4 year process between the pandemic and losing all the files and gaining all the files. This everyone was telling me, so how's it sounding, how's it going, how's at some point the band didn't believe that the album was gonna sound great until we mixed it and until we did it. It goes, here, check this album out. And I put all the songs particularly the way they're supposed to be at because they all connect. And when they heard it, they're like, whoa, this is a fucking album. It's crazy. I think the only thing that I could say that was kind of like like I could take it or leave it was that there was one song that didn't work out and we just took it out. But it was supposed to be 10 songs, but 9 songs just still felt well, like still felt great. And that was the last album that came out on Bad Time. So that's me yapping. But the creative process, it's usually just dependent on the setting. At the moment, we're releasing songs like every 2 months. There's a song that's coming out next week. So this promo next week, another song comes out. Um, and that's more like a ska core song. It's a really old song, a ska core song, but the process just kind of depends on who has what. Like, unfortunately, it's a little difficult at the moment because I live in Oregon. The trombone player lives in Mexico. The sax player lives in Vegas, and we have another sax player that he got deported to Mexico, but he's still very much in the band. We're still in the chat. We're still talking. So like, for us to get all together would be really hard and or very difficult or whatever. But we like send demos or send ideas, or once in a while, like we'll be like, hey, this is going on, and then we'll be like in a room together, be like, hey, can we like rehash that? And that's kind of how it goes. And if people vibe it, it's cool. The hardest person to get to do anything would probably be our singer, because his process of like writing lyrics or writing songs is it includes him kind of ghosting all of us, and he'll just disappear, and then he'll ghost us for like a couple months, and we're like, hey, what's going on? We'll see about shows, and he'll just play and leave. But then he comes back and goes, okay, cool, I have a whole album. And I'm like, all right, cool. Press the record button. But like he did that for this last album. I didn't hear because of the pandemic. I couldn't see him, and I didn't see him for like 6, 7 months. And then we just, I told him, hey, we're recording this day. You have to come this day. And he comes, and we're catching up. Sees my daughter who was just born, and then we go to this abandoned house. Not abandoned house. It's a home studio, but it looks like it's the middle of the woods. It's like something out of Beauty and the Beast, like one of those fucking abandoned like mid-century European homes. That's weird, but it has a cold studio inside that I have a friend who lent it to me. And it was very cold, and we didn't bring breakfast, and we were both very tired, but I told him this is the only night we could do this. So we did that all night, recorded the vocals, and I flew him back home, and then we finally got everything done. That was cool. That was a cool process because he had a majority of it, and then like maybe like Toothpick and Therapy, like our 2 hour songs, we had to like he only had like a chorus, and we had to reverse write the entire song. Like, okay, you're talking about stepping on shit. Well, what if you step on shit and you're at your friend's house and someone's looking at you weird, and we start making a story out of that. Like, we started being that creative about it. So yeah.
Sounds like fun. We did have, I mentioned earlier, Sal was asking if there was any new music coming up. So you said this was an old ska song. Are you working on new music?
New music, not at this very moment. We're reviving the entire plot, and I mean it's like the worst kept secret to ourselves too. But we're basically reviving like songs that we haven't played in like 24 years, and we're re-recording them, kind of because we're kind of like celebrating the 25th year of the band. So we
Mhm.
want to like revisit and bring that back. For the LA crowd, obviously it's something to be like, oh, okay, like you're bringing back a song. But I feel for the new crowd, like the East Coast crowd, if we're doing this whole East Coast thing, it'd be something to like something nice to revisit and know that the band has a quote unquote legacy, and you guys could hear how we sounded back then was like a new touch as well. So we're releasing a song every 2 months. It started with Cagapalo, which was last month. Oh no,
Yeah.
which was in March, and it'll be every 2 months till the end of the year.
So some of these songs, is it your first time playing them since you weren't always in the band?
I would say two of the 6 songs, yeah.
Okay.
Two of the 6 songs,
What
yes.
was that like for you? Like even being a fan and just joining the band after already being a fan of the band?
Oh, dude, it was cool. I remember when I just joined the band when I was like in high school, and like this was back when it was back in 2009, 2010. So like I'm texting like my friend in my Boost mobile phone. I had like the Boost mobiles, the ones you could like you had the phone where you could do the da-da, hey, what's up? How
Yeah,
you
yeah.
doing? Yeah.
What were they
So
called?
I never used that. That's very ghetto. But this my I remember my stepdad would do that. But I remember texting my friend, it's worth 25 cents a text saying, "Yo, I'm just playing with Matamoska. This is like I'm so excited." And everyone was just like, "What? They never even had a keyboard." It's like, "How are you gonna do it?" And I'm just like, "I don't know. I'm gonna fucking figure it out, but it'll be worth it."
Oh, they didn't have a keyboardist before that.
No, no, no. I'm the first and
So,
only. I'm the first. Well, I'm not the only keyboardist now because I've had fill-ins,
right.
but I'm the first. I'm the first canonical keyboardist that they had. Yeah.
So when you're doing these old songs, you're adding pieces to it then.
Yeah, it's production. So it's refacing. It's like we're looking back but moving forward kind of vibe.
Right. I love it.
What's
Ryan,
the
you
next
looked
thing?
up. You
Yeah,
looking
that's on me,
up?
huh? Yeah, well, we're sitting here talking about lyrics, and we've got the segment called Brain on Ska where we go over the lyrics, but sounds like you didn't write too many of them.
But I know him.
Do you know the
Well,
meanings behind the songs?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Of course I
Uh,
know the meanings of, yeah.
so typically, like Ryan will pick some songs and ask you to kind of give us the inspiration behind them and what they meant to you, writing them or playing them or whatever. But we
Yeah.
decided to do things a little bit different tonight. And I'll let you take this, Ryan. Go ahead.
um,
You want me to go?
yeah, go ahead, Jess. I had a
So
very
we
long
thought
day.
that it would be cool because we didn't know if you wrote the songs or not. So we didn't want to pick out specific songs. You pick like tell us what the most meaningful song for you is and what it means.
I mean, there's a few of them. There's like if I don't know if well, I don't think Padilla's watching this. Or I'm sure he will eventually, but um, it was very cool seeing Padilla's processes for like songs like Beer Goggles in East LA, because I
Mm,
was I was indirectly in those moments. Like Beer Goggles is about, he'll always talk about it like on stage, so I think it's something he wouldn't mind. But it's about his divorce with his wife, which like even the wife kind of had part in him leaving the band back in '06, and it just didn't work out. And it didn't work out between him and his wife, and he came back to playing ska again, and he feels like that was a second lease on life, even though it was emotionally taxing or whatever that was. But Beer Goggles is, it's like a very bittersweet of like, I don't know why life tore us apart, but I miss you type of vibe. And I very much remember having to support Padilla during that trip, like very hard time of his life. And then this, I would say East LA is the sequel to that. And during the breakup, Padilla has a daughter with his ex-wife post breakup. So it was like, break up and a couple months later comes out pregnant. And it's a love letter. It's a love letter to his daughter who he doesn't see that often or can't see that often. Saying, he wishes he was home in East LA. So it's kind of one of those, it's like the unrequited love, yearning type of songs. And I feel like that's very cool to add a story and put a place to it, because East LA is also something like it's something that represents all of us. East LA is very much Chicano, Mexican, Latino driven. So it's like it's a very significant identity to us. And calling his little girl his home, kind of just it adds a lot of emotional depth to it. And I remember hearing that, him telling me about that, and it's something I could really like touch about. But then there's also like fucking stupid songs like Gravity Bong song, which talks about this one time he like got really high and almost threw up on a turtle, like on a literal tortoise. Like he was about to puke in the tub, and there was a tortoise eating food, which was his friend's tortoise, and he was like, "Oh shit!" And he just turns around and pukes on the floor to not hit this turtle. I remember he told me about it, and I remember we were writing that song, and I was like, "You gotta write a song about the fucking turtle. Do it about the turtle, bro."
Do it for the
Uh,
turtle.
yeah. And then there's like narrative songs that like I really like too, which like MS for Murder is just like a first person point of view. Uh, M is for Murder is the first person point of view narrative of this murderer that is just killing people around town, but it's actually a nod to this Frank I forgot his artist, this director. Something Lang, I forgot. But it's a movie called M, which you can watch for free on YouTube. And it is about a person who kills children, and they're finding out who it is, and then they find out that it was a person actually helping the police out, so he could like throw them off. So he made a narrative about that, and that was really cool. That was my first favorite, like my favorite songs when I was like in the younger days of Mata that to play. And then there's Jefe de Ska, which is a nod to East LA ska, talking about being this big ska boss. That was really cool. So like, yeah, a lot of these song processes, like I know about the lyrics because I was always very fascinated with the way Padilla wrote. So I would always ask him like, "What's the song about?" Like the same questions he would ask me, and it just got etched into my head, and it became like part of my personality, which is I don't know if it's fortunate or unfortunate, but it's something I could like be like, "Oh, this is really cool," because I feel like I'm like in part of that process as well. I think it's sick. So yeah, that's where I'm at.
It's Fritz Lang, by the way, which is
French slang. There you go. Yeah.
Frederick Christian Anton Lang is the full name.
Yeah, yeah. And the movie's called M. And
Yes.
that's where we got the M is for murder.
Thank
So I'm
you.
kind of curious, what is it that you look for in a song? Like, what usually stands out for you lyric wise?
Lyric wise, I just look for creativity, like I'm very much when it comes to Matamoska, I'm very much more the music and ambiance and little details or do the turnaround, do a bridge here type of guy. But when it comes to lyrics, like I love the Beatles. I mean, say whatever you guys want to say about the Beatles. Like if you say I hate the Beatles, well, chances are your favorite artist likes the Beatles. Like everybody's always gonna defer to the Beatles. You could say I hate them, that's cool. Your favorite artist likes them, so thus you like the Beatles. Uh, I feel like the Beatles are like the pinnacle of songwriting because they could like take themselves out of the story and put someone else and it could be relatable. Like I look for something that you could very much be like, whoa, like I would have never thought about that. Like there's a song called She's Leaving Home, and it just talks about this girl just leaving home because she was just bored with her mundane life and wants to escape and run away, and then you find out that that was just inspired off a missing child poster that John and Paul saw, and they were saying, oh, what if we do a happy ending to this? And then I was like, cool, like that's cool that you added context to this very sad, somber tone. And I feel like that's what I look for lyrically, like someone who could add context to something that's very like basic and trivial. It doesn't have to be about you all the time. It doesn't have to be about it doesn't have to be about the girl you love or the drugs you're doing or fuck the government or shit like that. Like those are so. I feel like those are so like one dimensional that a lot of people write about it. And if you could make a story out of that, you could make context out of that. Like fuck the government, but put it in a way that's so contextual and so storytelling. I feel that that's something really cool.
So something that kind of takes you on a journey.
So that takes you on the journey, yeah. Like, dude, I'm also a huge fan of like Kendrick Lamar, and like Kendrick puts himself into like the story, or sometimes puts his like all his past selves, or puts a friend of himself. But the context around it going on, you could put a story to it. It talks about the struggles of urban living, the struggles of house living, racism, and you're just like, whoa, these are all very relatable stories, especially from someone like myself. So like, I find those lyrics like super compelling.
That's awesome. I'm the same way. Like I want to hear something heavy-handed, something I can take different ways, something that's got a lot of meaning to it, and like you look back after, like, damn, like that hit home for sure, and I can
Yeah,
relate to it.
yeah. There's some things that like they do. What do they do the there's like a very like subtle nod to like a couple things where you're hearing it, and there's a song. There's a couple songs you like hear 100 times, and then you finally get it. You're like, oh shit, you're talking about this. This is fucking crazy, Like it's yeah. Like there's a song. There's that. It's super basic. It's like a mini Ripperton song. The loving you is easy cause you're beautiful. Na 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 na. And you think Minnie's talking about like making love to someone or loving someone, but Minnie was actually made that melody, made that song for her daughter. So it's a song, and then if you keep hearing the song long enough, you hear Minnie saying talking about Maya, which is her daughter, and it's just
Mhm.
like, whoa, this is actually really cool. Like I thought it was about making love to someone, but it talks about your daughter. Like this is very beautiful. Like stuff like that's very nice. It
Yeah,
took me
it's
like
got that hook, but the verses themselves are a lot deeper than what just that hook on the chorus.
yeah, it's yeah, behind the superficialness, and then like it took me 100 listens to get that. And I remember like I was like, oh, I'm gonna look up. I'm very much the guy, the type of guy who would look up the song and look up the story behind the song. And I'll hear it and I'll be like, oh, that's interesting. I didn't know about that song. Like I very much do that a lot. Like just try to break down lyrics. I feel like that's how you. I feel like that's how you could reverse engineer a song. And then when you're doing something with a song, you could be like, oh, I got this idea from what I heard years ago. Like that's how you do that.
Yeah. I think Jess had one she wanted to add too.
Whoa, hold on. I just cut back. I don't even know what you were talking about. Are we adding a song?
Yeah.
I just wanted to add Ska Show only because I mean it's obvious what that's about, but I use that song every time I'm like promoting a ska show and I want to post it online,
Oh yeah.
or I'm going to Broken Goblet and there's a ska show coming because it is like in my backyard and it's nice to see a lot more ska shows coming through. So one of our co-hosts, Eric, is from the San Francisco Bay Area. He couldn't be on tonight, but he wanted me to bring up the difference in the scenes that you see between like East Coast and West Coast and how we have big festivals and you have like more like backyard shows and that sort of thing. So if you could just like get into the difference between the scenes on each coast, and then he wants you to build your own festival. What would Matamoska, wait, what did he call it? Hold on. He called it something. Matamoska Fest 2027. What would that look like? What venue would it be at and who would be playing it?
I'm gonna be considerate and think about what all the members of mine would be including, and it would be. I know that Robert the trombone player is a big fan of the Blue Meanies, uh, and I know that Lucas likes Big D and the Kids Table. I know that Padilla likes the Aquabats. Um, Eddie would probably, dang, I would say Eddie likes a lot of particular ska. I don't know. Can I add like a ska-ish ska
Yeah,
vein?
you can do whatever you want. It's your festival.
I want the police, because he likes the police a lot. So that's already too expensive of a show. Um, and then Ivan, he'll probably add like the Slackers or Hepcat or something. Rest in peace, Greg Lee. That's a homie. Um, AJ, who would AJ add? AJ's one of the newer members. Hmm. I'm gonna defer and say Voodoo Glow Skulls for him because I think he likes Voodoo as well. And then Ray, I'm for sure Ray would add like Hepcat. He's a very trad head as well. He's very dope. And myself, man, I just go with like Tokyo Ska. Like I love Tokyo Ska. That would be kind of our bill. It'd be like a weird international, super expensive, unattainable ticket type of festival. Especially adding the yeah, it would be $50
So
just to get Sting and Patrick Stewart to get together.
DJ
The
Ben
Copa-
says police did ska, by the way.
Huh?
He said police did ska.
Oh yeah, dude, Canary in the Coal Mine. That's my fucking shit.
All right, so you named a bunch of heavy hitters. Tell me about stage two. Who are the up and coming bands that are on it?
So I gotta put some love for the local scene for sure. There's Blanco y Negro, there's the Paranoia, there's Café con Tequila, which is another band I played for, Sausage Skankers. I'll invite the homies from the Hellas. And then East Coast, I'll get Joker's Republic in there. I'll get the Doomstoppers, which is my girl Kay right there. Um, I'll get I'll get the Free Coasters from Florida. I'm calling international homies now. And like that's my daughter right there. Hey, live streaming my daughter over here. Um, Let me see who else I'll get. I'll get Catbite, which I love Catbite.
Aw.
My daughter, come here.
So cute.
Say hi, Amalia. Super secret headliner is Amalia.
It sounds like
You'll
a
be
nice
backup
festival.
vocals.
Backing vocals for sure. Oh, the live chat's gonna be like, oh. um, so let me see who else I would get. I would love to get Chris Murray. I love Chris Murray. But the combo, I love the combo. Steady 45s, and I think that's how I would get like second tier. Third tier, I don't know who third tier locals would be.
Can I recommend somebody
Yeah, of course.
from Portland, like near you? Friends with Salad. Do you know them?
No.
They're really good. You should check them out.
Okay. Oh, the
The
Bandulus.
one
Yeah.
dude plays with oh fuck, with Eric Molina and his other band. I forget the
Oh,
name.
okay.
Yeah. So Hey, is she playing music at all?
Not yet. She's not playing music. When I'm recording, she'll want to put her hand on it when I'm recording. I'm just like, no, you're gonna ruin the take. But that's about it. Or once in a while she'll play with the piano back here,
Yeah.
or or I'll get on my kit or get on my percussion instruments. Mama, go
That's cool.
go go, mama, go, mama. But yeah, that's about it. I'm trying to think about, yeah, like I'll add the Bandulus too. They used to be Portland, but now they're
They're in New
like
York now, right?
they're New York now.
I love them. So good.
Good.
Say bye, Amalia.
Bye.
La beso. She get a kiss.
Aw.
Adorable. How old is she? 3?
She's about to be 4. Yeah, she's 3, about to be 4.
I miss that age.
I'm hoping it kind of goes by a little quick, so
Yeah.
she knows a little bit about personal space.
Yeah.
But the
That's
festival, that would be the festival. I don't know anything young, like more local than that, but
hmm,
I'm gonna take a recommendation.
that's cool though. Somebody, no, they were just saying hell yeah for the Hellas and Los Mahablatos. I guess that's it. Yeah, that's all we
Hell
got
yeah,
for
brother.
live chat. Who else is from out there? Isn't Sad Snack from out there? I really like them.
Sad Snack is from San Francisco, and I recorded on their album too.
Yep.
Those are the homies.
Oh, cool, cool.
Uh, this Josh from Sad Snack did our album, our singles designs, which is really cool. Yeah, that was an awesome. That was they this he immortalized. We have a fly called Martin McFly, which is Martin McFly, but we call him Martin. And people get that fly tattooed, and it's like the fly you see in all the singles.
Right.
Yeah, it's sick.
That's cool. It sounds like a fun festival. I hope that you have a certain podcast you would want to invite out to do interviews.
Oh yeah, of course. Tickets start at 150, and that's just to fly
Be
stinging.
there. Not in our backyard, but we'll be there. All right, so I took care of Eric's question, and I think I can pass it back to you guys.
Okay. So my next question is going to be about being on the road. We wanted to know if you have any interesting tour stories you can share. Our co-host Eric, who passed away recently, always loved this question, and he wanted to hear the most traumatic stories that you could share. But we're down for good, bad, ugly, or you can share a happy and a traumatic, whatever you'd like to share would be awesome.
I'll tell you. I'll tell you a story that I wasn't there, but the insider is so good that I felt like I was there. Cause long story short, we were on tour and we played Denver, and we had to get to Durango, Colorado. So the band left, and I had to stay because I had to make sure the bus was getting fixed. We just spent all our hard-earned tour earning on fixing our bus, and so we're back at zero and we're like frustrated, but whatever. And I'm staying with my friend Daniel at Daniel's house. And I get back, and I miss the Durango set, but I told him I'll meet you in El Paso. So I'm driving. I drove straight from Denver at like 4 in the morning to El Paso to make it right before my set. So I get to El Paso, and everyone's talking about like, bro, the guy with the dread, the guy with the one dread, he kind of looked like Angelo Moore, but and I go, what are you guys talking about? And they're like, look, so we played in, they go, so we played in Durango, Colorado, and we had nowhere to stay. So so this we stay at the squatter house. We were like, fuck it, they were staying at the squatter house. And everyone's trying to sleep, but you're sleeping on the floor. I think my trombone player is kind of like, I don't want to sleep here. Something's off. Something's weird. And this whole time, there's this like guy with this guy that looks like Angelo Moore, I guess, that has like a dread hanging from the front, like a dread devil lock. And this homeless guy going in and out of the room, in and out of the room, and you just hear a bunch of ruckus. And then one of the guys goes, "Ah, he's bringing him in again." What do you mean? He goes, "Yeah, that's so and so's fucking homie slash plaything." And I was like, "What do you mean?" And you just start hearing, and then you just start hearing whatever you guys want to. I could imagine hearing, like the expletives, moaning and do fellatio on me, like shit like that. And everyone in the band is like, they told me they were like literally sitting down there like And so after that, the trombone player like got up. He goes, "We're leaving. We're leaving. Like, let's get the fuck out of this fucking spot." So they leave and they stay at a spot in Albuquerque, New Mexico, I think. So then when I get there, like way later on, you just like I'm just like hanging out, and they're just oh yeah, like what's up with the suck it guy? I was like the suck it guy. Like who's the suck it? He goes yeah, because you just hear a lot of commotion and you just hear a guy going suck it, and I'm just like oh god, like it's tell me the story, and I'm just like what the fuck? And they're like yeah, we're never staying in squatter's house anymore. So that traumatized the bands, and then that kind of set the that kind of set the rule that like if the band doesn't know you, and if I'm not there, we're not staying anywhere. Like it has to be like a friend of mine, a direct friend, and I have to vet them and say it's cool. But they're not taking chances anywhere else anymore. So that traumatized the band a little bit. There was another one. We were playing in Texas, our first time in Texas, and we toured with this band called the Scatastrophics. They're a really good band from Texas. They're awesome. And we played in Austin, and it was a very cold time. It was a January, and it was the coldest January in years in Austin, Texas. So we just played. No, was it Austin? No, we played. Yeah, we played in Austin. No, San Antonio. Same shit, same difference. Sorry, guys, if there's any Austin people, I'm not trying to offend people. Um, we're playing, and then it's catastrophic. It's just like if you want, you can stay at our B&B. You can hang out with it. We're like, okay, cool. We'll stay at your B&B. Save us some money on a hotel. And I tell them, hey, we're gonna go to Whataburger first. Like, I want to get some Whataburger. Like, yeah, we'll get some Whataburger. Like, um, we'll meet you at the B&B. So the whole band goes to Whataburger. It's our first time having Whataburger ever, or their first time. It was like my second time. And then we, and then we get to the B&B, their B&B, and it's like 2 in the morning, and it's freezing. It's cold. It's really cold. It's like 20 degrees, 15 degrees, and we're knocking at the door. Hey, hey, 30 minutes pass by. Yo, and we're just like, where are these guys? And then we go around the house, and we see them. They're drunk, passed out. And we're like, fuck, and they lock the door. Like, what the fuck's going to happen? And I just see my trombone player with this very cold Whataburger bag, and he's just fucking eating cold Whataburger, fucking pissed off. And we all go back to our van, and we're all cuddling up, like 8 guys in a ska, like 8 ska musicians, and together, like cuddling up. We're freezing. And we knock out, but it was so cold, we kept waking up because it was so cold. The sun finally rises. One of the guys comes out, and I wake up and I see him, and I open the door, and I go, hey, what the fuck? And he's all, where were you guys? We were waiting for you guys. And I was like, we went to go get Whataburger. And you left the door locked. They're like, oh, we did, huh? Sorry, man. I was just, we are just hitting it too hard and we are fucked up and drunk. And they're like, you guys want to come inside? You guys can come inside. So I wake up the rest of the guys. Yo, let's go inside. So we go inside, and then everyone's sleeping. And I just take like the warmest shower of my life. And I get back inside, and I'm like in this sleeping bag, and I knock out for like 4 or 5 hours. But the whole time I was like, fuck, this is fucked up. Like I never been that cold in my life. Well, I at that point I was never that cold, but you could imagine like 8 guys just like cuddling up together, like we were like, fuck, this is tour. This sucks. Like touring is I don't know. It's funny because like when I talk to my wife about touring, she's just like, oh, you guys are relaxing and chilling, like you guys are not doing it. I'm like, no, I'm struggling. We're here fucking freezing our asses off. Like, what the fuck is this? And then she'll be like, oh, you do that to yourself. And I'm just like, I didn't ask to freeze. Like these are things you can't control. So yeah, those are 2 stories. There was another time, well, our first tour, that Ska Survival tour we did. We used my mom's van to like take some of the bands, and the Steady 45s used the van to go to like this edge of an island or whatever in Washington. And on the way back, the car started acting funny, and one of the gaskets broke, so we had to get a AAA and AAA from Tacoma, Washington to Portland, and it was like a whole thing because we had to leave the car there for like another like half a year. And yeah, it was kind of like a bullshit move, but it there was a lot of that for sure. There was a lot of car issues. So 3 stories right there.
Oh, fantastic. I feel like everybody thinks, touring is so glamorous, and then they hear about like the dark side and
The highs are highs for sure. The highs of touring are highs. but the lows are so low, and sometimes I feel like we haven't even struggled that hard, you know. Like I know there's bands that have had it worse, and like we're not here saying we had it bad, but for what we experienced, like we're walking with a little more precaution and why we walk the way we walk, you know.
Yeah.
So there's that.
Speaking of tours, though, I'm curious what you guys have coming up in the works.
So Mata, we're playing Mexico next week. We're playing Mexico City. We'll be in Mexico City, and then we're playing around the state of Mexico. It's called El Estado de Mexico. So there's Mexico City, and then there's like the surrounding. So we're not playing like Mexico, the country, as a state in general, but the state of actual Mexico. So we're playing with this band from Italy called Talco, and they're like a really massive Italian ska punk band from there. And then we're playing a 15-year anniversary for this band called Chancroquil, which is from Toluca. And then we're playing like a ska festival on Sunday, and that should be fun. And then we come back home. Mata is literally not doing anything for all of June because I live up here. The trombone player lives in Mexico. The sax player is gonna be in Vegas for 2 months, and the trombone player and us we play in Jer, so we'll be busy with Jer. And then so June's kind of off the books. Everyone's kind of resting and recharging the batteries. And then July, we play in Japan. We're playing all over Tokyo.
Wow.
Tokyo is actually a really big city, so we're playing 4 provinces in Tokyo. Hey, babe. I saw her from the back there. I was like, hey, can you close the door? Close the door. Oh. We're playing Tokyo. We're playing all over Tokyo. And then we have a couple things like San Francisco and Vegas in the works for August. And so far, that's all we have at the moment.
And then hopefully Michigan later in the year with
Hopefully,
East Coast
Michigan later, we get the offer.
We know some people, so
Yeah. Yeah.
Are you pickings?
Wait.
Are you
She wants to
pickings?
play games.
And babies.
Wait.
The babies are
No babies.
Sonic. The babies are Sonic.
See, let's play Sonic the Hedgehog.
Like a hedgehog. And now I have
Go.
shadow.
Yeah. Go with mommy. This is gonna be so funny to hear on the podcast.
Go,
Good. I love it.
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
Go play Sonic with me, Dad.
Amazing.
Hey, give me 1 second. I'm gonna take outside. Okay? Give me like 1 second. In 1 second. Come on. Let's go outside real quick.
Yeah, no worries.
It's
Go on, mommy. We'll play Sonic right now. We'll play Sonic right now.
I think it's really awesome being able to see this side of, musicians and stuff like that, being able to see them engage with their families. And, there's always a side, like a front that, is put on at performances and, and you're engaging with fans and stuff, but they're all people too. Kids
Yeah,
and
dude.
families and
At
jobs
the end of
and-
the day, like, once I get off stage, I'm just a regular ass dude. Like the guy who like jumps on stage it's a persona, you know.
Right.
Yeah, it sounds like
Granted,
you guys got some big stuff coming up. Is there going to be a ton of people jumping on stage with you, doing some guest appearances during your sets during those runs too?
I think for Mexico City, yeah, we have a friend that we're gonna be touring with. So hopefully that works. Hopefully that works out. But everything else is pretty much just us, just trying to cut our teeth.
Nice.
Just trying to cut our teeth and trying to get like get a little known.
I think we have a surprise guest.
I
No,
know.
we have 2 surprise guests.
Who's the other surprise guest?
Rachel, show your face or you're not allowed here. So we have another. You were in big demand tonight. Everybody wanted to host this episode because it's Esteban. I'm like, we all want to be on this episode, but we have too many people. And my rule is no more than 3 hosts because that can be a little much,
I'll take a panel on. Let's do it.
I told Rachel she could pop in for a few, and she's here.
All right. Let me see that face, Rachel.
If she doesn't show your face, she can't talk. While she's doing that, I'm going to fill you in on the live chat. We talked earlier about our friends in North Carolina. You wanted to know if they were in Charlotte, and I said Queen City. They are near Charlotte. They said Charlotte is Queen City. So yes.
I won't disclose too much, but if this tour with a certain ska band pulls through and confirms, because bureaucracy and red tapes and deals, then I know Charlotte's in the date.
Mhm.
I've seen it, so we'll see what happens.
There you go, Lee and Sal. Sal was actually at the Matamoska's show at Broken Goblet where there were like 8 people. Sal used to live here and has since moved to North Carolina and has buddied up with Lee, who was asking about North Carolina. So they'll see you down there.
If Sella
Maybe if it works out.
if it works out, please message the band IG or whatever. Say, hey, it's me. You know, I'll be like, hey, what's up? It's usually me.
And if you come here, I'm just gonna be like, what up, Esteban?
I'll be like, hey, what's up, dude?
That's it. I caught up and Rachel's gone. She came and she left. I think she must be having issues.
Yeah, sounds like technical difficulties.
But all we had left was a speed round, which we're just gonna say like first thing that comes to your mind when we ask these questions, unless you have something else you want to share that we didn't touch on.
All right.
Oh
Tell
wait,
me.
you know what? We did have one other thing on the outline before you go there, and that was you just released on vinyl your album from 2017. We didn't talk about this, did we?
No.
No.
We should, because do you have any left?
Yeah, we have a ton. So
Okay.
the good thing about that album in particular is that we started doing like a giving back to the community thing. And there's online sales. If you buy it online, a portion of those sales goes and helps out the Los Angeles Women's Shelter for women who have suffered domestic abuse or homelessness. So it goes out to a cause.
Nice. It's the way to do it. Did you have those here with you at Croydon Fest?
We did.
I know. I feel like I saw one and then it was like a flash because everything was a flash this weekend. But I would like to get one. So where can people order that?
You could go to the Hectic World Records Big Cartel, and you'll see it there. You'll see the Matamoska Slacktivist Swing 10-inch. And then just to throw myself in there, there's a cumbia project that my brother and I have, and it's right next to that.
Nice. Somebody did mention earlier, I think it was Lee, that cumbia is the new punk.
Cumbia is definitely the new punk, but also cumbia has been along since forever, and it's here to stay.
There you go. Rachel tried to pop in again. It didn't work. Somebody has a question about beer goggles. Hold on. We talked about beer goggles earlier, but they might not have been here. Why does beer goggles turn into beer joggles by the end of the song?
Like us jumping around, or
Do you joke around and change the word from goggles to joggles? Or is it just that is he being funny? Burrito, are you being funny? I think
it could be
Burrito.
beer. It could be beer Googles. Every once in a while, I'll forget. Like when we're writing out the set list, I'll put beer Googles in the set, and I'll be like, "Oh, my bad for like, sorry, I just typed this in, on the fly, or I just wrote this on the fly." So sorry, I
Beware the
missed it.
browser history.
Yeah, of course. If I die, please delete my history. Thank you.
All right, who wants to
That's
lead
what real
the
homies
round?
do.
Throw my phone to the ocean.
I'll start off the speed round though. I got a good question.
Just don't
Yes, sir.
ask my question, Ryan.
If you could be a farm animal, which one would it be and why?
Horse, because who doesn't want to be a horse? They run a lot. They do ketamine. I did ketamine once. It's fine. Uh, we just neigh and eat a lot of hay. Why not?
That's a good reason, eh?
There you go. Dennis, I'll let you go next because mine's more serious.
Okay. What's the weirdest place you've ever woken up?
We're woken up. I would say my bed, but I didn't even know I would say my bed, but I was hours away from home, and I don't even know how I got there. So the weirdness is in the story of what happened.
That's fair.
I've had nights like that. Too many I care to admit.
I mean, like hours away. Like I wasn't even intending to come home, and I still woke up home.
It was aliens.
All right, let me see if I have a non.
Thank
I
you.
always blame the aliens.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna go with my question that I like to ask. Dream artist to collab with.
Damn,
I,
that's great.
so I even wrote notes here. I feel like it's kind of like I don't know if maybe Esteban already did this because he's already collabed with so many fucking people. Like, tell me somebody that was a dream artist that you already collab with, and tell me one that you would love to that you haven't yet. I want two answers.
Someone that was really cool to collab with is this band from Mexico called Senor Bikini. I mean, they're like a very popular surf band from there, and it was really fun because like Senor Bikini is basically the guitarist and the drummer for Out of Control Army, and they're fans of whatever I do, and they're like one of these days we'll do a song together, and I like their songs a lot. You know, I like surf music a lot too, and they finally released a song, and this I really enjoy it. They gave me a chance to mix it and to master it, to do percussions and keys, and it was just a very like seamless um process where they kind of, you know, they I knew where I wanted to put everything to let me have creative freedom, and the song comes out and people like it. I mean, they're promoting it, it's sick. Someone that I would like to collaborate with, like if it's songwriting wise, probably Tim, like Tim Armstrong. Like I want to sit in the room with him and see how he what makes him tick and how he writes a song and how I could like use that for future stuff. You know, like you don't really know how they do it until you're there and they're showing you how they do it.
Are you a
Which
big
might
Rancid fan?
uh
Are you a big Rancid fan?
I played a show with Rancid before, like on
Really?
keys. Yeah.
Oh, really? Where at?
San Francisco.
Cool. What's your
I
favorite Rancid song?
okay. Very quick story. So I played this Rancid set. It was really sick because Kevin from the Interrupters plays in Rancid. Kevin was in the UK, and Kevin asked me, "Hey, do you want to cover me play?" And I go, "Yeah, duh. Obviously, I want to fucking play with Rancid. Yeah, for sure."
Right?
Long story short, I'm learning the songs, and I learn the songs, and then I fly to rehearsal with Tim and the entourage, and then we're there at the rehearsal studio, and it was cool because I have my keyboard set up. You know the moments coming, like practice time's coming, and I was so excited to rehearse because I'm gonna fucking play this set. And I remember like everyone's like, you know, Lars gets up there, puts the guitar on, Matt gets on there, puts his bass on, Brandon gets there, gets on the kit, and everyone's just like, "So what's up? You know, what are we gonna do?" And Tim looks at me, goes, "You wanna play what song do you wanna play? Time bomb, I'm gonna play time bomb, cool. 1, 2, 3, go. Wah, ga, 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 ga." And I'm playing it, and I'm just like fourth walling myself where I'm just like I'm playing a song from my childhood with like the actual band. This is not like a band that invites me and I'm like, "Hey, you'll play time bomb." And I'm just like, "Well, this is fucking sick." Um,
Very cool.
yeah, it was very cool. And then there was a part where I did that too much. If I break the fourth wall in my head too much, I like get lost and I fuck up. And I was
Mhm.
doing that on stage during Washington. No, during
Olympia.
Old Friend. During
Oh,
Old Friend. During Old Friend. And there's that you know, summer in Olympia. He's holding in his chords. And I got so lost in myself that I forgot a chord change, and it was like obvious. And I'm just like, "Oh fuck, I'm so sorry." And to this day, that haunts me. To this day, that still haunts me. I'm just like, "Oh, I can't believe I fucked up that chord."
a lot of pressure there.
It was cool. It was awesome. I really enjoyed that shit.
I would like to see you play with Rancid. I'm
I
giving
have
it
it on. I
that.
have it on my
On a Rancid.
I think if you guys follow me on TikTok, like the video is like the first one on my TikTok. I don't upload videos that much.
Oh yeah, I'll check it out for sure.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's the first one.
I have a good Rancid story. It's not as good as yours, but when I think I was like 19 or 20, I called in a radio station to try to win tickets to a Sonic session. They used to do them here in Philly. And it was like during the day, you got to go see the band play in like this little garage with like 20 other people, like acoustic set. And then at night, you got to go to the real concert, and I won. And it was fucking amazing.
And it was a rented. It was like a rented
Yeah.
show.
Yeah, it was like a Rancid Sonic session, which was all acoustic, and then you got to like hang out and talk with them and all that. And then at night it was, the legit show. I got tickets to that too. And it was my first ever VIP ticket. Like I didn't buy VIP tickets then. I don't even know if they sold VIP tickets then. It was just you bought a ticket, you know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it was cool. I still have it hanging on my wall and I'll never forget that day.
that's tight. That's sick. It's
Love Rancid.
those dudes. They're nice. You know, I always like whenever someone else has an opinion about them. I'm just like I met them at the end of the day. Just like you said, they're just regular ass people doing regular ass things. Like they're dope. They're super nice people.
Cool.
Matt. It's actually really cool hanging out with Matt because after the show, you know, like three-fourths of the guys are sober, or I think half of the band's sober. I think Brendan drinks, but I'm like, you know, washing up and chilling, and Matt comes out and he goes, "Hey, what's up, Esteban? Good set, man." You know, he goes, "Hey, good set," and I'm like, "Oh, thanks, Matt." And he goes, "You want a beer?" And I'm just like, Matt Freeman's offering me a beer. Give me that shit. I'm gonna check that shit right now.
They actually are at the top of my list for a Supernova band. I would love to see them at Supernova.
Oh man, that would be
That'd be
crazy.
amazing.
That would be crazy.
Anyway,
Bit of dreaming.
No, I
Rachel
like
ended
I
on-
like dreaming. I like dreaming. If you
Dreaming
could
is
play
good.
a venue, any venue that you can think of, real or fictional, what would it be?
I would love. I mean, it's really dumb because like the venues I like to play is more for nostalgia factor. Like, I would like to play the this place called Terraza Jamay in Montebello because that's the one venue I've always wished to play and I never played it. It's just like my local with my local friends, like to be seen by my friends. That's like the dumbest thing I could say probably. But like a venue that I could be like, whoa, I would like to play, and I actually
You
had
could
an
say a Death
opportunity.
Star if you wanted to.
Uh
You could say the Death Star if you wanted to.
Actually, I would like to play the Hollywood Bowl because I had two opportunities and I passed on them, and it's fine. Like I passed on them because there was conditions towards that I wasn't available to do it. So I would like to play it under my own terms in the future. That's it. That's all.
Oh yeah.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi, Rachel.
Hi.
Did you have any questions for our
Hi.
speed round?
Is it speed round already?
Yeah, like, we've been on for like an hour and a half, but you can say hello.
I know.
and
I've been
hey,
having
girl.
technical problems and I'm not even supposed to be here. I just love you, Esteban. Which you
Oh,
already know because I
mwah.
got you in the hallway against a wall to tell you.
Thank you.
I mean, I just like trapped him from the bathroom. I'm like, let me tell you why I think you're wonderful.
Oh, I
is.
appreciate that.
Rachel's our trouble child.
What were my questions? Did we talk about Esteban having a law degree?
Or what?
I don't have a no. I'm a psych. I no. I don't have a law degree. I have a degree in psychology.
Yeah. Well, that's interesting too. It said,
Yeah.
but I was like looking up and I was like, oh, lawyer. I was like,
If I was a lawyer, I would tax fraud my way out of this country. So, unfortunately, I could just dissect people and personalities and talk to them and feel more confident about talking to them and have confidence in myself to talk to people.
That's
Yeah.
funny that you say
Yeah.
that actually, because one of my questions was if you could be anywhere else in the world right now, where would it be? And
What would
why?
it be back in Los Angeles? Because Los Angeles is a shit, and I miss home, and I would love to have some King Taco right now.
Okay.
and where are you stay? Oh, wait, let me finish that. When I looked it up, I went, oh, it could be a different Esteban, whatever I looked up your degree. And then it was like at
You
Ska.
stalked her.
I just do research. I consider it professional.
There's oh no, fun fact, there's like three Esteban Floreses, like three of them. There's three of them.
Well, the one I was looking up definitely was you because the email was like Ska something. I went, oh, it's him.
Oh, Ska Cartel. Yeah, that's myself.
Yes.
No, yeah, because putting the law into it, there's a detective Esteban Flores who he like figured out this very famous case in Arizona. You guys know you guys know Jody Arias?
Oh, yeah.
Joan of Arc?
Oh,
Yeah, so the Jody the detective who arrested Jody Arias is Detective Esteban Flores. And then there's this artist called Esteban Flores who he plays in an emo band called Slow Joy from New Jersey.
Slowjoy?
Slow Joy.
I'm not familiar with them.
Yeah, they're pretty popular supposedly. I mean, I've seen him.
I mean,
he has way more followers.
I'm not huge in emo, but I like some.
Shouldn't it be like Killjoy if it's an emo band?
No, I'm pretty sure it's
Is
Slow
there?
Joy.
Seems like it should be Killjoy.
I'm gonna look this up now. Slow Joy.
Killjoy, whatever.
No, it's Slow Joy. It's Slow Joy Music. This guy.
Well,
And
Slow Joy. Okay.
I like emo when it like mixes with ska. Yeah, that's
I
cool.
mean, he looks cool. I've definitely tried emailing him saying like, "Yo, that'd be funny if we collab, did like a emo ska thing. Like, I already play with Ska Network. I play with Jer. Like, I understand. Like, would it be cool?" And crickets. And I'm just like, "All right, well then, fuck you then, bro."
You're like, don't you know you're just a regular person? Come on.
This is self-hate. You're hating an Esteban with another Esteban, dude.
Wait, I did have a couple questions, and I was having technical difficulties. You may have already said them, but I know you're in numerous bands or have been in numerous bands. Are you still like a part of more than one?
Yeah. I've not been in a singular band since I was like 16.
All right. So yeah, you're still active in numerous
Yeah,
ones.
we didn't ask any of those questions because we were going to focus on the band tonight, and we felt like that would be a whole separate interview. I feel
I'm focusing on
I
Esteban.
feel like Esteban needs a second interview for that.
I think I need like a solo interview because then I could go off of that all day.
Exactly.
What's my other question? Oh, well, my other question is just for Esteban too, so never mind.
Well, just ask it.
Okay. So the reason I like had to find you to tell you that I enjoyed you so much was because you were just so filled with joy, and it was like made me happy watching you play, which I think is like an awesome thing.
Thank you.
And wondering if you carry over that just kind of full of life, happy vibe all the time. I mean, not all the time, but like if that's just you and life.
I would like to think so.
You're like, I'm acting.
I mean, no, like obviously, like anyone has good days and bad days.
Of course.
Yeah, you seem so positive too. That's a genuine
I'm
question.
acting.
Yeah. You're acting? No, please
I'm
don't
masking.
do that.
You didn't get that, psychologist? It's masking.
Don't mask. If you retain emotion, it's just worse on you. This no, it's part of. I mean, like if I didn't, I always tell people if I didn't like ska music, I could probably be fucking off and doing something else, or just work my degree. Like there's no reason for me to be doing stuff like this. But I genuinely like doing it.
In the moment, so happy, and that's what radiates and makes.
Oh, I mean, like if you guys like followed me on Spotify and see my recently heard artists, like you can see who you recently heard. There's always a ska band there. There's always ska like. And I remember like friends telling me they're like, bro, you've been hearing ska for like 20 years. Like, don't you get tired of it? And I go, no, because I'm always actively looking for new ska bands. Like, I'm always on Spotify, and you see the whole like, people listen to this too, and I'll go through every single one of them, and I'll dig deep and I'll dig deep. Like, I genuinely have a love for ska and rock steady and traditional ska and ska punk. Like, I know there's people that usually say, oh, I outgrew ska punk, and I was like, well, I didn't, I like circled back. I went from like Mexican ska to traditional ska to being a little snob about traditional ska to realizing that it's stupid to be a snob about it and just like what you like, and then going back to ska punk and then go full circle back to like, oh, Mexican ska's the shit. And you just and at the end you just look back and say, oh, I could be all these things at the same time and still like it, and still be myself. Like my playlist is like a very schizophrenic playlist because you could just hear, you'll hear John Holt, and then you hear Operation Ivy, then you hear Real Big Fish, and then you hear, I don't know, Resistencia, and then you hear Sector, and you hear Inspector, and you're just like, people will be like, what are you on? And I'm just like, I just like all these songs, like, don't hate on them.
Yeah, no, my playlists are quite erratic.
My disadvantage is I don't use Spotify. I do use Apple Music.
I don't either.
I don't know if they have that thing where you can see what other people are listening to, but I never picked up on it before. I think it would be a great idea right now if we asked everybody in the live chat and everybody on this panel right now to share one band that people should listen to.
Look, right now.
Right now. Yeah, right now.
Ska or non-ska? And
actually, Lee started it off. Lee from North Carolina wants Esteban to listen to the Unsustainables.
Unsustainables.
I think we should keep it ska, Rachel. I think we should keep it ska.
Okay.
For good measure,
For good measure, of course. But I feel like I'm just going to name a band that everyone knows.
I am going to say Sabon. They are amazing. Some of them are still in high school. They are playing the ska, and they're going to keep playing the ska, and they're fucking good. Check them out. Language, sorry.
No, I cuss too. It's fine.
Okay. I mean, but I knew your daughter's there.
You're also on my headphones, so she can't hear us. I have in-ears.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I'm gonna say, you know what? I'm gonna give some love to the homies from Red Store Bums. It's really easy. It's a really easy.
I don't even know them.
Yeah, they're from the England Empire. I think you'd like it. It's very chill. It's very awesome. And
Red Store Bums.
Red Store Bums. Yeah, Red Store Bums.
Got it.
So I would recommend Red Store Bums to everybody. Check them out. I think you guys would like it. There's a song there for you. It's like a mixture of ska, reggae, rockabilly, punk. It's dope. So that's one band.
Cool. Sal in the chat is saying Left Hand Hot Dog, who is from like Atlanta, Georgia, I believe. And the coolest thing about them, they're so much fun live. They actually make hot dogs on a grill. Somebody does it while they're playing and they pass out.
They were at Pioneer Fest, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
that. Well, you know what? They stuck in my head. Their gig works.
But they're really good, like musically too. Like, and they put on a good performance. So good selection, Sal.
Oh hell yeah.
Who's next? Ryan, Janice, Rachel.
Show me what you got song wise.
Well, you
Right.
guys already said a bunch of them that came to my mind. Like Saban was definitely towards the top of that
Sorry.
list. Like
I love
we
that.
talk about Boy Detective all the time. Can I show some love for the write-ups?
Oh,
Because
yes,
I mean they did just play our after party,
they
but
did,
I
and they
mean
were amazing.
they
Well,
are amazing. They're awesome people too, and they
with
don't have a
fucking
problem.
Dallas and shit.
Yeah, Dallas.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, fuck him.
No, that was the shit. He's dope. So I was like the
I know.
writers.
They were good. And the Dirty Notion killed it too. Like, I love them too.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Did you go to any of the after parties? Were you even there Saturday?
I didn't see him there.
Esteban, that was for you.
Oh, we were still
Oh,
touring.
you
We were
played a
still
show
playing.
on Saturday, right? You
Yeah,
weren't at
we
the
yeah,
festival?
shows. We were at shows.
Hmm.
Yeah, we had after parties, the Dirty Notion and the write-ups played Saturday night. It was fun.
This yeah, no, we had a show with Toasters, uh I think in Jersey.
Yeah.
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 We played like Debonair or something, right?
Yeah.
Debonair.
And
Yep,
that was
Debonair.
that was our second time playing Debonair. That was cool.
Hmm.
Yeah. Actually, there's a fun story. Not so fun, but I was supposed to see you at Debonair the first time you played there, and my car broke down on the way there. So I
No
almost saw
way.
you 3 times, but I've seen you too, so it's still pretty good.
Oh, I'm sorry that happened.
No, that's okay. It was like a jinx. I have yet to go to Debonair. I live in New Jersey. And I've never made it to Debonair Music Hall, and I feel like there's some kind of a jinx against me getting there.
Well,
One of these days you'll break it.
we're gonna go there
Absolutely.
soon. I feel like somebody's coming there soon that I want to go see. I don't know who it is. I forget.
Okay.
Right there.
I was just gonna throw out Goblin City Rat Boys for my band.
Oh yeah, guess what? We're hosting them on a show in like,
We
I don't
are.
know, 16 days.
Yep. Was
Yeah.
that the 21st? The
21st,
21st?
we're gonna have Goblin City Rat Boys, the Maca Sticks out of Washington, DC, the What Nows out of Reading, Pennsylvania, and Fukata out of
Wow.
Miami, Florida. They are gonna play
Fuakata, Fuakata.
Fuquata. Thank
Yeah.
you. I mess it up
Those are the
every
homies.
time.
Those are the homies Fuakata. Yeah.
Yeah, we're hosting them at a small room in Philly in 2 weeks. I can't
Oh,
wait.
nice. Very nice.
Lee in the chat is saying the Taj Motel Trio, who I
Taj
still
Taj the Taj
Taj Mahal.
Mahal trio? Yeah, Taj Mahal trio. I recorded a song with them
Taj
too.
Motel.
Yeah, I recorded a song with them on keys. Yeah, I remember
Okay.
that.
Somebody else is asking how many times he's seen Esteban. Got to be at least a couple dozen, probably, with lots of different bands.
My choice is Everyone Will Know, but it's what I've been listening to nonstop for a while as my go-to.
I have a guess.
Go ahead.
No, I'm gonna be wrong. Is it
Okay.
Girth Control?
No.
No.
I do love Girth Control, as you know. I feel like they're my little brothers.
Yeah.
I listen to the Interrupters a lot.
But wait, we were looking for up and coming bands, Rachel.
Yep, I'm gonna stick with an oldie. Sorry, I'm stuck in my ways.
You
I'm not
missed
sick and old.
part of the conversation earlier where Esteban told us that he opened, no, the Interrupters opened for Matamoska way back.
Yeah, I was like 21. I was 21 when that happened. And I remember because I worked my first job. No, I was 20 because I worked my first job and I went and I was working at a upscale coffee spot. And I went in my coffee suit, whatever, smelling like fucking coffee. And I remember just keeping my fancy pants on, but I threw a Mexico jersey in and I remember playing. And I remember singing Interrupters too, and it was cool.
Somebody in the chat said, who, Rachel? Like, who is that?
Also missed the new and upcoming part, but I'm gonna stick with my answer anyway.
We also have Bad Leavers being thrown out in the chat. They're really good too. We hosted them recently. They're out of Atlanta, I believe.
Most bands that I would recommend are from LA. So like I would say Red Store Bums, and these are active bands. The bands that are not active, I would give them love to listen to, but that's on you guys. But it'd be like Red Store Bums, the Paranoias, they're sick. There's Blanco y Negro, which means black and white. They're cool traditional ska. I would say check out Trinidad Suave or Trinidad, as we're called now. They're awesome. Rude Tone Bandits. Who else? Café con Tequila, which is one of the bands that I used to play with back when I was 16. Sausage Skankers, which they're cool. They're ska core, ska punk. Um, Let me see. Undisputed World Champions. They're cool.
Oh,
Or
I
that.
follow them. Yeah.
Yeah. So those are the bands that I recommend. La Muerte, which are cool as well, and I recommend them. So yeah, that's a list of bands I can recommend. The
Cool.
list goes on forever. And if you gave me a list of LA ska bands, I could just go on and on and on and on and on and on.
Yeah. That's like a
And then
catch.
if you need more, you can always check out the they also listen to portion of
On whatever platform you use. I use Spotify
Yeah.
because I've had Spotify since I was 18, and just transferring to Apple Music, I was just like I have playlists here, and I don't know. I know I know that I'm not doing good on supporting, or trying not to support the whole situation, but my wife and I have a shared account, and she still wants to use it, and we use a dual account, so I'm paying for both of us. So I'm not a piece of shit. I'm sorry, guys. I'm not a piece of shit. It's conditional. I was in it before it was uncool.
I get it. I still have Spotify too.
Judging you.
Yeah.
I'm fucking judging you. Nah.
I literally got it like a month before all of that went down, and I was like, "Oh,
Oh.
come on!" I finally broke down and got it, and now it sucks.
I got it when it was like $2 a month, and then when my student fee it was like $5 because the prices kept rising. But I got it when it's $2 a month, and I was like, oh yeah, this is awesome. Back in the day.
I appreciate the fact that they will plug in bands that are on tour into playlists and help perpetuate them.
Yeah.
I don't know
a
if-
thing?
Yeah, it's a thing.
Oh,
Like, I don't know if they have something worked out with bands in town or something along those lines
Right.
to where it just kind of gets plugged. But
I mean, I have an iPhone, so I just automatically use Apple. I don't know.
Yeah, yeah, me too.
Yeah.
and that's how they get you.
What was I going to ask? Best of the worst. How long have they been around?
I mean, they've been around a while, but they're not like more people need to know about them. Is what I'm
Okay,
trying.
so I'm going to go with best of the worst.
That's a good one.
And I'll get to see them play actually with Girth Control in June. Everyone
Wait,
come to Albany.
Is that actually the band that you said you've been listening to a lot? No, it was the Interrupters.
Yeah, it was the Interrupters. I listen to them like the whole album every day. But yeah, I'm excited to see the best of the worst, and I forget that third band they're playing with, but yeah, it should be great.
Well, and there you have it. A whole bunch of new music for everybody to check out.
Hopefully everyone comes out as listening to some new stuff. I'm gonna check out the new bands. So
I think it's the first time we did that. I mean, we've shared like a band each before, but we never asked the live chat and all that. So we got a lot of music to check out.
I'm gonna get a text. It's gonna be like, Esteban, the bands you recommended are trash, and I'll be like, damn. Sorry.
We got one more time for the Hellas in the chat.
Hellas.
I'm gonna say one more time for friends with.
Just to get out.
Hey, what do you recommend? What do you want to say? She said Hellas. So
Hellas, okay.
my daughter said Hellas. Yeah, Hellas.
That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. Well, Esteban, unless you have something else you want to share, I think we can wrap this up.
I'm always gonna say support your local ska bands. They're the foundation of what you're seeing in your cultures from. The bands, your favorite bands can't get to the biggest stage without your support. So I recommend you help them out as much as you can. Buy their merchandise, talk to your friends about them, burn their CDs. Counterproductively, try and get their CDs for free and give them to your girlfriend or something. But spread the word. That's how their bands get fucking big.
Yeah.
Do it. You're not a popular band until you have a song dedicated to your ex. Nah.
I want to say hi to your little girl. Put her on the screen.
Here. This is my little daughter, Amalia. Amalia, what do you want to say?
Yo, baby.
Baby? She's watching Sonic the Hedgehog right now. Yeah.
How old are you?
She's about to be 4.
Just
4.
Yeah.
go high.
So cute.
What else I would say? Matamoska, we're playing in Mexico. We're hopefully going to go back east at the end of the year. We're going to Japan. And we have new music coming out the rest of the year, for the next 2 months. So hopefully you guys dig it. It's old school stuff, but with a new flavor, new taste. And then hopefully people on the East Coast like it, So
I
we'll
love
see how it
it.
goes.
I'm going to piggyback on your message about
Oh,
supporting
no.
the scene with a message from our Eric, who passed away recently, that we like to share. And if you just hang on for a second, I'm going to end it right after that. So thank you for joining, and thank you everyone for listening. And we will talk to you soon.
Thank you.
Thanks, Esteban.
Thank you.
We're at
Am I
want
good?
to have good shows and we want nice things. We actually have to show up for them. Like
Absolutely.
if we have these amazing shows and 4 people show up or 10 people show up, guess what happens?
We don't get
They
the
don't
show.
come back. They don't come back and see us again, right? Like, so if you want a scene, you got to actually be part of that fucking scene and show up for it. All right. If we in the scene,
Oh,
or hey,
that's
Michigan
it.
from where we're at, want to have good shows and
I played it twice. Why not?
Okay.
It's a good
The
message.
message is there. I really very much appreciate that. That's cool.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know your friend Eric, but I feel like I would get along with him very well.
Oh, you would love him. I absolutely guarantee you would love him. Everyone did.
Awesome.
So I'm going to stop the live stream. Thank you everyone for joining. You can catch
Bye.
if you missed part of the episode, you can catch the full episode probably in 4-ish days on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. I will post it up on the social network things, social media things.
You hear my daughter say babies for $1.